Oh, that's great. You couldn't hear me at all. That was fantastic. Great start to the stream, Alan. Well done. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me okay? Should have sound now. Everything okay now, sound wise? Fab. Great. Okay, so sorry about that. First time streaming, bit of fun. So let's just recycle back through what I was just saying. First time streaming, hello, nice to meet you all. I'm Alan, the face behind. This face is behind Juban Ichiban. Currently streaming across YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook Live, which I think is Facebook is probably where most of you guys know me from. What we're talking about today's topics is a few things. First things first is best place to stay in Tokyo. I've been to Tokyo quite a few times with my better half, so I thought I'd share my thoughts on that. Who to fly with? So this will be Europe based. But that'll could be applicable to most people as well. And then the big one, has tourism actually returned to Japan? Who knows? So yeah, let's have a quick chat about that type of stuff. So first things first, a little bit of background about me, I suppose, more than anything else. Why Japan? Me? Why am I so interested in Japan? What's going on? I suppose the story starts when I was a young boy. My father went to Japan on a business trip a long time ago, and he was an engineer by trade. He came back with tales of a foreign land, tales of this amazing place in Japan, where basically everything is super quick, super clean. Everybody's dead friendly. Food's amazing. It's just this amazing place, and is it any good? I'm glad the camera pit's good. Thanks for that. I think I've started the camera right now, but thanks very much, Michaela. Finally managed to figure that out. So from a young age, I was always interested in Japan after this story from my father when I was really young. And I got interested in Japanese literature, woodblock paintings and prints, which were always fun. Things like video game culture, obviously, fanned the flames for years, massive video game fan on the early Nintendos and stuff. So that was always fun. And yeah, I've just always really been quite interested in it since then. Why not? And what I ended up doing is I managed to save up enough money and I went for my 30th birthday with my wife. And I absolutely loved it. It was everything I thought it would be. Absolutely amazing, And it only furthered my dreams of my enthusiasm for Japan more than anything else. So yeah, getting back to the top, that's basically me and who I am. Obviously, over on Facebook, I post something at least once a day as a minimum. Either a snippet about Japan, some photos, some videos, and just some general information as well. So feel free to follow on there. I got a link somewhere which I will share at some point. But today's topics: best place to stay in Tokyo. So Tokyo itself, what is Tokyo? Tokyo is the capital city of Japan. It's 28 different cities under one umbrella, one really large umbrella of the Tokyo metropolitan government area, I think it's called. 38 million people stay within there. Plenty of places to, go and stay. And so basically, where would I recommend? If you're a first-time tourist in Japan, you're probably going to fly into Tokyo more often than not. Tokyo has two main airports. It has Narita, which is quite a way away, or almost 2 hours away, and it has Haneda as well, which is the more localized city airport. Narita itself, which is the first one I just mentioned, is a massive international airport, as is Haneda. But Narita is where I generally fly to. Yes, it's an hour and a half, 2 hours away, but there's many different ways of getting into central Tokyo from Narita itself. Feel free to comment on it if you wish. So, how I get from Narita itself to Tokyo, several different ways. There's the limousine bus, which are effectively like coaches. These are fantastic things that will take you directly from the airport terminal all the way. There's maybe several different ones, and they do different routes around Tokyo themselves. Who's trying to watch Le Mans? Who's trying to watch Le Mans? Doesn't have your name, sorry, whoever that is. Who's trying to watch Le Mans? Who's winning in Le Mans anyway? But yeah, in terms of getting there, it's the limousine coaches are a great option. They're quite cheap, about 1,300 yen, and you can basically get dropped off at your hotel door if you're staying in a hotel, or even get to somewhere centralized as well. So that's easy enough. There's also the next train, which is a little bit more expensive. That's a direct train from the airport straight. What do you mean like that? That better? Is that better? A little bit better. I don't think everyone wants to see my mouth anyway, to be really honest. But thanks for that. So the next train goes directly from the airport terminals again, straight into central Tokyo. It's a fantastic service. We used it last time I was there, both to and from central Tokyo. Very good as it's a direct train. It's actually quite quick, but still a little over an hour, just due to the size and how far away Narita is from central Tokyo. So next train is a good option. One thing I would discourage people from doing is getting a taxi, because again, it's so far, it's quite expensive. If you flew to the other airport, Narita, so not Narita, if you flew to Haneda instead, Haneda again has several options, different train lines, also, and there's a monorail as well. So many options in getting on to central Tokyo. So the real question is then, where do you actually want to stay? Where is the best place to stay in Tokyo? Several, I mean, to an extent, this is kind of subjective, but in terms of what I would recommend if this is your first time in Tokyo, I would recommend Shinjuku, right in the middle. Shinjuku is what most people would think Tokyo is, I would think, more than anything else. It's central Japan. It's effectively the skyscraper thing more than anything else. It's exactly where you want to be, right in the middle of Tokyo. Some fantastic hotels there. The central business district is there as well, so plenty to go off and plenty to see. And there are also other places where you can stay in Shibuya. Ueno is quite nice, which is like a park area. And you can also stay further around, depending on what you want to do. If it's fashion culture and things of that nature, you can also go to Harajuku. Harajuku is quite nice. Places I would avoid like the plague. That's Kabukicho, which is the central like nightlife area, so it doesn't really ever get very quiet at all. So, and also there's a lot of people there having a good time, so it can get a bit loud and a bit rowdy, so probably not the best place to go. But either way, it's Shinjuku really is probably one of the better places to go. That brings us on to question number 2, who to fly with. So if you're going to Japan, one of the best experiences you can have, in my mind at least, is to fly with a Japanese carrier. Ooh. I thought you would find Shinjuku the best place, the best area to. Better than Shinakubo. But yeah, in my mind, the best way to fly to Japan is with a Japanese carrier. Oh, nice. Thanks for that. So yeah, in my mind, one of the best people to fly with is a Japanese carrier. So be that ANA, All Nippon Airways, very very good, or my personal favourite, JAL, which is Japanese Airlines. Japanese Airlines have a fantastic service. If you're flying from Europe, they fly from most of the major hubs. But if you just need to make sure you have to get to one of those major hubs first. So I live in the northwest of the UK, Bolton, which most people probably know. If I wanted to fly to Narita, I would have to take a connecting flight to somewhere first. So I would generally fly from Manchester to London, and then London to Tokyo. Or you can then fly Manchester to Amsterdam. We've done Finland before, Amsterdam to Helsinki, Helsinki straight to Tokyo. We've done Denmark to Copenhagen, fun as well. And you can do Paris Charles de Gaulle as well. So many options from Central Europe. I think one of the newer things, thanks to our Russian friends, is you might not be able to fly all those routes anymore. Swiss used to be a good route, but that's probably not the best direction to go. You can also travel safe now as well. So you can go to some of the Middle Eastern carriers. So you can also do Turkey also as well. But Emirates do routes to Tokyo. So do Turkish Airlines, as I said, and Qatar do as well. All very good. Class leading, award winning, carriers. But again, for me, you should generally always start on the Japanese carriers because your experience of Japan starts as soon as you get on the plane. They have fantastic Japanese food, fantastic Japanese service, and even the even the toilets, even the washlets on the planes have special Japanese toilets. So that's already a good start. More often than not, it's quite a bit of fun going on the Japanese planes for anyone else. And third topic today, just to round off this short broadcast, has tourism returned in Japan? So you may have seen in the papers, you may have seen in the news or online that Japan is reopening to tourists. I'm not sure that's the case at the moment in time. I wish it was the case, but I'm not 100% sure that it is. And what I mean by that is the tourists that are being let in at the moment in time are on special group tours. Thanks very much. I love JL as well. The tourists that have been let in at the moment in time are on special group tours, which are not tourism to a certain extent. You're not allowed to freely walk around and go and do what you wish, unfortunately. You have to do what the tour guide says, you have to go to certain areas. And the real kicker for me is you're not allowed to wander about. So if you wanted to go to Tokyo, for example, the tours don't go to Tokyo, they go to other areas in Japan. So you have to go wherever the tour guide takes you. And I think Japan is using those areas as a means to generate tourism in those particular areas as well. So places that probably don't see as much tourism as Tokyo at the moment in time, which makes perfect sense. It's better to test the water. It's better for Japan, I suppose, to test the water in places that are not completely crowded, like Tokyo is. It's better to see how they can survive, this a shorter wave, a shorter amount of tourists before they actually all get there. But it's not real tourism. The rest of the G7, I think, are open for tourism. I know the UK is, France, etc., but not Japan really, unless you go on one of these guided tours. And for me, guided tours are probably not what I want to do in Japan. I'd rather just be able to do free roam as I've done in the past, see what's happening, go into a local bar, support some local, food places and see what's going on. Not go to this hotel, go to this place, stay here, do that. I mean, because people are doing different things anyway, and I know I certainly don't like doing the same thing as everybody else. So it's probably not for me. I'd still like to go back into Japan. Don't get me wrong, but it's maybe not in that particular way. I wonder who this is. Nice talk with that's from. I was given this talk today by a really good friend of mine. But he apparently he doesn't have YouTube, so he probably isn't going to come on. Whoever said this, I'm not sure who you are, mystery person. But if I did know, it may be you. So moving on, I thought last few minutes I'll just go over my first official. That's the right way of saying it. My first official time in Tokyo. It was 2015, so quite a long time ago now, I'm afraid. Almost, almost 7 years ago now. That was the first time I ever went to Japan. As I said, I went there for my 30th birthday with my wife. Yeah, it's obviously Matt, but It's obviously Riddler, just so we're aware. But yeah, it was my first time ever in Japan, 2015. Basically, realizing a childhood dream of mine. Absolutely loved it, as I'm sure most of you know. But yeah, let me share some of my pictures and photos from that particular time. Ah, sorry, was there no sound then? I didn't realize that there was no sound. Sorry about that. There should have been sound. Oh, just talking over my original pictures. So let me. That's a little bit weird. That I'm not really sure as to why it's doing that. Oh, frustrating. No sound. There should have been sound while whilst I was talking. Then I was just talking over the Pocari sweat that I used to have. Yeah, one of my favorite drinks in Japan, which sounds absolutely horrible, but again, the Pocari sweats are actually quite nice, so not too bad. Oh, why is there no sound now? Well, there should be sound, so I'm not really sure as to why there's not any sound. Yeah, there should be sound either way. Oh, right, okay. Well, why is... So sound's okay now, yeah? Fab. Yeah, I know that worked last time, but bear with me, guys. So anyway, that's it really. I just wanted to chat for the first 20 minutes and try and see what was going on. See how the streaming game goes. Hope you've enjoyed. I can highlight what you're saying now. You're gonna get in trouble if you ever invite us to that barbecue. Never been invited. Yeah, good. Okay then. Thanks, guys. I hope you like my new top. Got given it today. But yeah, I'll go with that. Thanks very much for joining, and I will see you, I suppose, in the next one. See you later.